All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. There's a lot of twos and fours in there. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going? I forgot my own name there for a bit.
Got a little occupied with the twos and the fours there. They didn't know who he was at. What the hell? Doing pretty good. Not too
That
bad.
and then looking at the screen and noticing that I needed to change this. There we go. I knew something was looking different.
Okay. Got distracted. I didn't know what the hell he was talking
Got
about.
distracted, forgot what my name was. It'll be all right.
Yeah. You've took a couple hits to the head this week, so that can be excused.
Yeah. Fucking typewriter to the head.
That people don't understand. That fucking typewriter is one of them 50,
It's all-
year,
yeah,
50 or 60-year-old typewriter.
Yeah,
that thing's heavy
from
than
like-
hell.
Yeah, from like the 80s,
Dog,
70s.
Shit, I'd say maybe the 60s, man. That thing's
Yeah,
an old
man.
mother.
Yeah.
That thing.
It's still getting made fun of by my nephew every time he sees me.
Hey, how's your head, dumbass? Yeah, I heard that yesterday, a little bit of that.
Oh, he got me first thing today.
Oh, did he? I didn't hear that. I heard yesterday.
Yeah, this morning I was outside smoking. Went out. Him and Jeff went outside. They were going out to check the mail, and he said, "Hey, Chris, how's your head doing today?" I said, "Good." He goes, "Well, don't be doing nothing stupid today." I started laughing, and I came back in. So, yeah, he's been on me every day since it happened.
Well, you know him and how he is. It probably never end now.
Hey, how's it going, Billy? Billy said, I got home the other day and something had fell off a shelf in my closet. It was actually a book of, it was an old binder of baseball cards. So I get home and I see that laying on the floor of the closet. I'm like, okay. And I look up and I see that some stuff up there had moved a little bit. But I didn't think anything was going to fall. So I'm picking up the binder. Well, I hear a noise and I go to look up. And by the time I look up, boom, that typewriter hit me right in the head. Knocks me down. I'm laying on the floor there, bleeding immediately.
It's one of them big typewriters from the 70s, Billy. I don't know why we have it. Don't ask me. My wife don't throw nothing away, and I don't, whatever. But Chris got smacked in the head.
Oh yeah. Glenn said, "Hey, how's it going, Glenn? Them refs was, yeah, that was bullshit when you call offensive foul on Jokic and then they review it and called the foul. It was obviously a moving screen. Yeah, I got a little bit of a knot there and a little cut. Yeah, But yeah, my nephew ain't gonna let me live it down. He's gonna give me every time. But no, Glenn, that was a terrible call. I'm sure you're talking about that one. That was definitely a moving screen. I know Dad could hear me in here cussing and yelling at the TV. But the third quarter killed the Pacers. They outscored the Nuggets. Yeah, I agree. No, yeah, we had the momentum too, and that wiped out that put a stop to the game as well. But and then they reversed it, which was terrible. But that third quarter killed us. We outscored the Nuggets all the other quarters, but we got outscored by like 20 something points in that third quarter and dug ourselves a little bit of a hole, and then came back in the fourth. But a good, I mean, pretty good outing, especially without Halliburton. But yeah, that I agree. That was a terrible call, and at the time it happened, because it was only I think 2-3 minutes. No, it was less. I think there was like only about a minute or less than a minute left when that happened. It was, I mean, it was late in the game.
Yeah, it was late.
Oh yeah, you could hear the crowd going crazy, and I had a bad feeling. No, they kept showing that replay, and I'm like, that's clearly a moving screen. That was an illegal screen. That's the right call. But the more that announcer kept talking about it, I'm like, it just kept giving me more of that feeling that they were going to reverse it. And not only did they reverse it, they called a foul on the Pacers. Said he retrocrossed him. Yeah, he retrocrossed him because he's trying to get there, and he's moving with them. That's NBA for you.
I don't know if you've heard this story. I wanted to get Glenn's reaction. I imagine he's heard it. Sports Illustrated came out talking about WWE and said they released what the 3 main matches are going to be for WrestleMania, or at least they're predicting. They're saying it's going to be Roman and The Rock. They're saying it's going to be Gunther and Seth Rollins, and it's going to be Punk and Cody. That's what they're saying. And I think that's because after Monday night, Gunther interrupted Seth. Of course, you had a great segment with Punk and Cody and The Rock, becoming one of the board members. And it's being seen a lot right now on TV with WWE. I don't know if it holds any validity or not, or if they have a source. As far as I know, Sports Illustrated may be struggling to stay open, from what I hear.
Yeah, that's from what I'm hearing too. I think with the Cody and Punk thing, I think a lot of people are just jumping on that because of that promo.
But the thing people got to remember, we had.
I do think there'll end up being a Cody and Punk story. I do, but I think they're going to finish the Cody and Roman story at WrestleMania.
But I wonder if we could get The Rock added to it.
Maybe,
because I mean that don't hurt Cody if he beats both of them.
No.
So I'm wondering about that. But yeah, people got to remember. Yes, he did have the thing with Punk and Cody Monday night, but they had a thing the week before with Drew and Punk, and the week before that they had a thing with Punk and Seth. So I mean, they're building stories there.
It seems legit. Let's have Rock and Hogan at SummerSlam.
I got a feeling we're going to have Hogan at Royal Rumble. I really think he's going to be in it. I mean, 40
it wouldn't surprise me if he is.
Been in Florida and been 40 years since he beat the Sheik.
Wouldn't surprise me. Like I told you yesterday, I think McAfee's going to be in the Rumble.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be interesting. I do. I think they could add The Rock to it, but I think they're going. I think Cody's going to end up beating Roman. They're going to finish that. But I do think they're going to do a Cody and Orton. I think you're going to see Cody, and if things go well with Punk and he's there for a while, I think you're going to see Cody and Punk. Which it seems like everything's going all right with Punk so far. I know he hasn't wrestled a lot of matches or anything.
He wrestled on. I know at least one house show.
At least on TV, I was going to say.
Yeah, he hasn't wrestled. Oh, he hasn't had a match on TV, which I think is smart. Mm-hmm. Making him an attraction. You don't need to.
When when they put them in the video game, they got to put them in the game like Roman, where you're going to use them once a month,
Yeah.
like people were saying.
Yeah,
that was cracking me up when I was reading that.
That's a popular meme. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I'm more excited for this Rumble than I have been for. And not that Rumbles ain't been pretty good, but this one's just got a lot of intrigue to it. You really don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea who's going to win the women's Rumble. I mean, they can go a lot of different. They can go a lot of directions. A lot of people think Gunther's going to win this Rumble, which that wouldn't be a bad choice.
That wouldn't be a bad choice.
Glenn's counting his days for NXT and Daytona. He had surgery. He recently had some surgery, and they said he was doing pretty good. But in the Rumble, they can protect him.
Yeah, he don't have to do
you don't have
much.
to do a whole lot. Throw a few punches and get thrown over the top rope. He's not going to win or anything, but heck, you never know. They could throw Stone Cold in there. I mean, you just don't know with the money they've got now. They can get anybody they want. Probably, they've got enough money. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked that they went to Netflix. I'm shocked that they got $5 billion for 10 years. That's a lot of freaking money.
I was a little shocked with Netflix just because Netflix hasn't been in it. Netflix hasn't been in that space. I mean, they haven't. This is their first time getting into sports rights like that, and doing weekly live programming at that level. So that was why it surprised me a little bit. But I mean, that's why things are going to go to event.
It's going to happen.
Eventually, here's what's going to happen. All these streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon,
Peacock,
Hulu, maybe Hulu, but like I was talking about like the big ones are like Google, Amazon, Netflix is pretty big. They're going to end up buying these TV companies. They're going to end up buying like NBC, these, and then what they can do, you got these TV series like Yellowstone that everybody loves, but a lot of people didn't even know what Yellowstone was until then they started putting Yellowstone on regular TV, and then that gained Netflix a lot of new subscribers because
Paramount. They're on Paramount.
Huh?
They're on
on Paramount, yeah, but it started gaining them a lot of subscribers because people were going back and watching the old seasons to get caught up to where it was on TV. So these streaming platforms, they can, like Netflix, they can buy these TV companies. Cobra Kai, for example, if you're getting ready to release a new season of Cobra Kai, you could air the season before on these TV networks that you now own. People are going, that'll draw people into it and get you more subscribers because people are going to go back to watch more. Eventually, these streaming companies are going to own the rights to all this stuff, in my opinion.
Well, not only that, Chris, I mean,
they're going to buy these smaller TV networks and everything's going to be because they can air their content on there and get more viewers and more subscribers over to their streaming platform.
That's one thing that's become more mainstream because I didn't realize this, but when I started working at Walmart and around all these young guys and women, none of them had cable. Everybody had Netflix or streaming service. They said, I can't afford cable. I just got Netflix and watch all my stuff. So
they say like 98% of male Gen Zers use YouTube. Watch YouTube.
Yep.
And look, even with YouTube, they were getting in the sports rights a little bit. They got the NFL. They had the Red Zone this year, or not the Red Zone, but the Direct Ticket.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And YouTube is big enough. They could get some of these get stuff.
Yeah.
More stuff. So I mean, and that's what I was going to go to. But I think you're going to see like Amazon, Apple, companies like that start buying these TV networks because they can use it to help build their platform.
I agree. And cable's a dying thing. And Well, just like Netflix got that new show. I heard it's real good and doing real well. They got that Ted. Remember the movie Ted? They got they got a TV series Ted. It's a prequel. I heard it's outstanding, and I heard it's doing really well. So I mean, they're at and Paramount. They show a lot of their shows off NBC on Paramount, not Paramount. Excuse me, on Peacock. You can watch them either or on either thing. And plus, Peacock has some exclusive shows too. These streaming services are pretty smart.
Glenn and Billy are having a NASCAR conversation.
NASCAR conversation, yeah. Glenn loves some NASCAR, that's for sure.
It's coming up.
Maybe he can get me into NASCAR. I'm more of a Indy 500 guy. I'm more of IndyCar.
I watch more NASCAR than I do Indy. But here's my problem with NASCAR. Now I don't know if it's just I don't watch the right channels, but it's a lot of times I don't know when the race is on. Like for some reason I don't know if it's I don't watch because I don't watch a lot of like regular TV. I'm usually on the sports channel, but a lot of times I don't know like there's a race this Sunday and what I just don't know it's on. And the time I remember it's on. Now if I see one's on, I'll usually have it on and watch some of it. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep track enough for when all the races are on. And I think some of it's because there's so many different series, like because truck races are usually one day and then another day. I know Sunday's usually the main is when the big race is.
Usually, sometimes Saturday nights, but mostly Sunday.
But I usually watch the Indy 500, or listen to it. I grew up listening to it on the radio because you couldn't watch it around here live on TV. Now you can't. Now you can, but used to you couldn't.
In Indiana and Memorial Day, when I was growing up as a kid, it was Memorial Day weekend, big cookouts, big parties,
and races
and races on.
Yeah, I have to watch that too, Billy. That Big Little Brawlers.
I've seen the first 2 episodes. It's a really good show. What's cool is Marcus knows all those guys really well. He's been down there several times, and they love Marcus. So I know Marcus really enjoys it because he knows all those people and he sees them all the time. He travels down there 2 or 3 times a year, Tennessee, to see them. And then also they have A wrestlers and B wrestlers that travel around the country and do shows. And they set up the ring themselves. They do all the concessions. They do all the work. Marcus says it's a well-oiled machine. Said a lot of wrestling promotions to check them out and see how they do. They could learn something.
Yeah. I'd like to go to one of their shows sometime and check it out.
Yeah, I would too.
Heard a lot of good things about it. Well, I didn't do worth a shit on my picks yesterday.
Really? I didn't. I went 5-3. I went 2-0 on my NBA. That's great for me.
I went 2-0 on my NBA as well. I also went 0-4 on hockey.
I went 2-1.
And I went 1-2 in college basketball. So I was 3-6.
And I'm upset with the New York Rangers. They was up 2-0. Third period. I don't know. 6-7 minutes left. They lose 3-2. What the hell?
Yeah. Didn't have a good night. Yeah. I've heard the shows are great for them micro wrestling or midget wrestling. Everybody calls it different things nowadays, but it's they had there was a show at a bar here in Muncie years ago, and I should have went to it. I didn't, and I wish I would have because I've heard it that they're a blast to go to. I know there's a couple different groups. I know there's another group that was just in Indianapolis at a bar there, and one of the referees that are a lot of the shows, Wayne Silver, he referees referees those shows, and he says it's awesome.
Yeah. Marcus went to the last one. I think Marcus went to was somewhere in Indiana or something, and it was at a biker bar. He didn't realize it was a biker bar. He goes in this place and he said, "What the hell we got ourselves into?" He was worried, but he said, "Place got packed." He said he was worried. He said 25 minutes before the show, there was nobody there. He said by the time bell time was, you couldn't got nobody else in there. And he said it was a crazy show. And bikers loved it.
Philadelphia is keeping Sirianni.
Yep, I seen that. And they should.
Yeah, all these people. Mike McCarthy is definitely getting fired. Sirianni needs to be. You know what? I was thinking about this last night because I was listening to the radio and listening to them guys talk. These people that on TV and stuff, they're getting too comfortable calling for people's jobs.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
How would they like if somebody called for their job because their take is terrible? Because they don't, you know what I mean? They say this and the opposite happens. So you're terrible. You need to be out of here. You can't be you know what I mean?
Well, they have no accountability, so they can get away with it. I mean,
yeah, but
they get a pass.
It's one thing. Hey, you can criticize all you want.
Yeah,
criticize if you don't agree with what how coach. I don't have a problem with that, but just to be calling for people's jobs because to call for somebody's job, that's just that don't make no sense to me.
Yep, I agree. And it's one thing.
It's like we're too comfortable rooting for people to fail, and that's not what it's supposed to be about.
Let me ask you this: does it make a difference to you? For example, I'll use him as an example. Rex Ryan. If he sat there and said, "Hey, it's time for a change," he's been a coach. At least he's been a coach and been fired. Where these guys have never coached. Most of them's never played.
Well, it's one thing.
Most of them's never played.
I don't even have a problem. I wouldn't have a problem if one of them said, "I think it's time for a change." That's different than this coach is terrible. He's never going to win a Super Bowl. He needs to be fired right now. If you don't fire this coach, you're not serious about trying to win the Super Bowl. You don't have to go. You don't have to attack it like that. Just if you think the guy should, if you think, hey, it might be time for him to make a change. To me, that's different than when you're just attacking.
Yeah,
the way some of these guys have been lately. Like people make comments that the Dallas Cowboys aren't. They're on there said they weren't serious about winning the Super Bowl because they didn't fire Mike McCarthy and all this stuff. It's like, man, I don't know. And then the players whine. You know what I mean? But if people talk about when these guys were playing, if people would have talked about them like that, they'd whine and cry.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, a lot of the people's got too comfortable on their takes, and like I said, I have no problem with an opinion. But when you sit there and say this guy's terrible, he sucks, let's fire him, they get a little carried away.
Well, let's see if we can do a little bit better on the picks today. I went 3-6 yesterday. Puts me at 83-69 on the year.
I'm 83-56 right now.
You've gotten off to a better start of the year than I have. All right,
Mike, I'm handsome like this every day, man. I'm just old. No, that's the problem. Old and wore out.
All right. Well, we'll start in the NBA tonight. I went 2-0 in the NBA last night. It's the only thing I did anything good in last night.
I did a couple NBA games, but I didn't like any of them. But I did a couple.
Well, see, first game I'm going with the Charlotte Hornets at the +3 on the road at the Detroit Pistons. Both these teams aren't very good. Both of them are terrible. But I think the Hornets are a little bit better than the Pistons, and the Hornets are underdogs, so I'm going with the Hornets at the +3. Then I'm going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers at the +7.5 on the road at the Milwaukee Bucks. I know the Bucks have a good record, but they just fired their coach, bringing in another coach, hired Doc Rivers. What Milwaukee's doing over there makes no sense to me at all. You fire Budenholzer, which I thought was a mistake, and you replace him with this Griffith. He has a winning record. Defense hasn't been good. I do understand that. Now you all of a sudden fire him in 43 games into the season, and Doc Rivers is the guy you think is going to solve all your problems.
Well, the rumor is it was Giannis that wanted him out. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of the rumor been going around.
Billy said he ever made that statement about McCarthy there. W's get rid of Dak. Have you? Speaking of that, let's talk about that real quick. Have you seen all the comments going on out of Dallas, where CD Lamb's mom called said something about Dak. Then Micah Parsons' brother said something about Dak, or that Dak needed to take just needed to take $40 million or get the hell out. Needed to take not as much on the contract, and then Dak's brother came out and said, "Believe me, if I could get Dak to leave Dallas, he'd already be out of Dallas." And I think CeeDee Lamb's mom basically said, that, "Oh yeah, that we all know Dak isn't it." And
Damn.
so yeah, they have a lot of shit going on in Dallas right now. Players' families fucking dogging the quarterback, and then now Parsons has to come out and say something.
Yeah.
They got a mess going on over there. People starting to turn on Prescott.
I think Billy Buzz is right there with him. He'd be willing to talk to Parsons' family and who was the other one? Lamb's family. Yeah.
And I'm going to take the other game in the NBA I'm taking is the Phoenix Suns at the -2.5 on the road at the Dallas Mavericks. So I got Hornets +3, Cavs +7.5, and the Suns at the -2.5.
Okay. I didn't like any of the games, but I went with Cleveland and Milwaukee. I did the opposite. I went Milwaukee minus the 7.5. I think sometimes when you get a new coach in there, especially if things were bad between the team and the coach, which I don't know if it was, sometimes that kind of sparks them. So I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to take Milwaukee and give up the points. Atlanta minus 7.5. Atlanta at Golden State. I'm at Golden State minus 7.5. So they were my two NBA picks.
All right, college basketball. I'm going Auburn -3.5 on the road at Alabama. Florida Atlantic at the -11.5 on the road at Rice. And I'm going to go Illinois at the -3.5 on the road at Northwestern. That's be my college basketball picks.
Yeah, my college basketball picks for tonight. I've got James Madison minus 7.5 at Old Dominion. I got Davison +2 at St. Louis. I've got Navy +3 at Bucknell, and I've got Winthrop minus 6.5 at Charleston Southern.
And then in the NHL tonight, I'm taking the Jets on the money line on the road against the Maple Leafs, and the Bruins on the money line at home against the Hurricanes.
Okay, I've got an NHL. I've got Arizona at Florida. I'll take the Panthers money line. I got St. Louis at Vancouver. I'll take Vancouver money line. And I got Buffalo at the LA Kings. I'll take the Kings. That's my NHL picks for tonight.
All right. Well, you got anything else for today?
No, I think I'm good to go. We're going to be doing don't have the exact time yet. Chris will put out something probably sometime tomorrow, let everybody know, or we can tell people at 3. We're going to do a Royal Rumble special Thursday night. Don't have the exact time. I'm still trying to get things figured out.
I'll get something put out either later tonight or tomorrow about it. And then Sunday, we're at Warrior Pro Wrestling at 3 o'clock. Join us live on YouTube and Twitch.
Yep, should be
at Gonzo Sports Room.
We got some good matches lined up, so it should be a real good show.
Yeah, it's WPW Riot.
Riot Rumble or something like that.
Riot 3.
Yeah, I think so. They got a big Rumble match and got some big matches lined up. Got a
Steel Cage match.
Steel Cage, and then they've got a match.
That's who's that? And that Winchester and
Zay Gates.
Zay Gates for the title.
Yeah, expect some big things from that. That's a big feud been going on for about a year. And then you've got Buck and the general manager and job versus hair. So if Buck loses, he loses his hair, and if the general manager loses, he loses his job. So that should be interesting.
Yep.
And Buck's going to cheat like crazy. So.
Oh yeah. But all right, yeah. So join us for that Sunday live at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We'll get a post out about what time we'll be live tomorrow night. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at Gonzo Sports Room as well. And we'll be back tomorrow around 3 o'clock with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show.